I think did you click finish or no?
Oh, no, we're live right now.
We're live.
We're live.
We are live.
Oh
And
yeah.
this is gonna
Oh,
be a replay,
yeah.
right? Because I'm gonna turn this into like a podcast.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a replay.
Okay.
So what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kevin Yee with my boy Rohan, and we have Brittany over here.
What's up?
Yo, for all you people that say all my friends are freaking Asian, well, I brought two non-Asians to the house, and yeah, man. So I thought it'd be really cool because I think one thing that we all have in common is that we all came to California. Like, you guys came from Texas and I came from Boston and stuff. Oh, people are already joining.
Awesome.
What's up?
Yeah. But I thought it was like really cool. We all have our different reasons for coming here, man. So I just want to talk about it, and it's really relaxed type of thing. It's just a conversation. We'd probably be having this conversation even if people weren't even watching. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves, man? I'll start with the ladies first, man.
Why, thank you. Hey, what's up, everybody that's joining in? My name is Brittany Nicole Gonzalez. I am a dance artist from San Antonio, Texas, from the South Side. And yeah, Texas pride all the way, but got mad love for LA. Been here for about 3.5 years now. So trying to hit that 10-year mark when you're like officially an Angelino. But yeah, I'll pass it on over to Rohan.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Rohan Taylor. I have a clothing brand called RKT. I came out here to, pursue my fashion career, and I also do some digital media work. And yeah, so I've only actually been out in LA for about 2 months. I'm currently still working, my 9 to 5 or whatever. Took a year off from school, actually. It's crazy. I'm from Fort Worth. She's from San Antonio. It's like 2 hours away from each other. And yeah, just met Kevin through actually the same way how we met Brittany. And yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how we first met because we actually all met through Jump Cut Academy, actually.
Yep.
They were oh my god, they're shooting at this baller ass house, like this really expensive ass house. Brittany, did you take a lot of IG photos there and stuff?
I took a few, but I'm that kind of person. I forget to take pictures because I'm so just like enamored with the scenery, and I'm like, wow.
I think I got a good picture of you, right?
Yeah, but Rohan actually helped me take the picture that went up on the Instagram. It was really cute, but it was such a cool space to meet everyone in, and I felt like everybody just jumped right in and was very like cool about it, just kicked back. And just hanging out. It was so much fun. What was the other guy that we were talking to? I forgot his name.
Was it the Hispanic guy? Or was he white?
Yeah.
No, we didn't know white people, right? No, I can't remember.
No, his last name was Gonzalez, I remember, because we had the same last name.
Felipe? Felipe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah, let's see. So let's see. Sarv said, how are you? He's probably talking to you.
Don't mind me.
California.
Yeah, what are you drinking right now anyway?
I made a margarita with some tahini in it, so that's why it looks brown. I know. I'm a certified bartender, okay? You gotta know
really?
like your different hustles when you come out to LA. That's like biggest advice is like before you come out, one, like have a good amount of money, two, have a good budget plan, and three, like know all your side hustles. So that way when you come out here, you have like multiple ways of making money in order to support like what you really want to do.
100%.
It's so important.
I'm curious, like what are some of your side hustles that you have?
So I bartend. I dog sit.
Okay.
I do makeup.
Yeah.
I also do administrative work, so I work at an office. I also do social media, so I help one of my friends. She's got a online coaching and YouTube channel, and I help edit her like social media stuff. I also work with my boyfriend's vape juice company.
I'm so sorry.
I help do promo work for him.
Yeah.
I do a lot, you guys.
So how did you learn how to do all this stuff, man? That's quite a bit.
I learned the hard way. I learned when I was dead ass broke, like, and not knowing what to do. So it was like Okay, let me take a second and look at all the skills I have
Yeah.
and look at what's the first step I can do.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got into bartending first because I had just enough money to like start classes, and then the the program that I was part of, they actually like let you do gigs while you learn.
Yeah.
So the first gig that I landed, I made like $400 in 4 hours, and I was like, oh my god, it was so amazing. And then I just took it from there. It's like all networking and just really utilizing what you got and like working from there. It's been a hard process, but
Yeah, one of the things I
whatever.
really respect about you, Brittany, is because like
Mhm.
people might look at you and she's like they look at you and they might be like, oh, she doesn't like know anything, but you're actually really smart and you're really really hardworking, man. I love that about you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a common misconception. I
Yeah.
actually like I have my bachelor's degree. I studied theater and dance. I know what I'm talking about. And I think another thing is just always remaining a student, no matter what environment you're in. Just always soaking up what you can and going into it with the intention to learn and grow. So
Gotcha.
thanks. That's a huge compliment. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What so I have a quick question for you. So like what's your ultimate end goal? I know right now you're doing a lot of side hustles and a lot of like this and that, but like what's like your ultimate like your LA, like your dream, like your dream job, dream position, whatever.
Oh, well, there's like different tiers. So I have like my ultimate, but then I have like my next step, and then I have like my middle ground. So which one would you like to know?
I want to know, give me all start with the ultimate first and then work your way
Okay,
down.
so okay, cool. So my ultimate goal would be to have, and I get so nervous expressing this to people because I feel like it's too big sometimes, but
No.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would really like to own my own skyscraper that has all the different levels that contribute to my whole like company. I want to have my own entertainment company where I take in kids who are really talented, specifically kids who are from like lower income neighborhoods or don't have as much like access, similar to my upbringing.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I want the building to have everything like a dance studio, recording studio, yoga studio, like everything it takes to develop an artist like wholesomely. So everything from spiritually, artistically, physically, like a gym, everything. So that way when I walk into work every day, I'm like helping to build artists that are gonna contribute to this world and be of like a high vibe frequency. Because I feel pop stars today are cool, but I feel like if we could raise the bar even higher for the people who have like so much voice in our society, we could take it like so far, you know?
Mhm.
So that's that.
How did you
Yeah.
get that like first vision to have like a something like a skyscraper, man? Like that's
That's a
I've
pretty
that's pretty specific.
That's very
That's
specific.
very
actually.
specific.
I'm a very visual person.
Yeah.
So it kind of just came to me. I was like, well, I want this here and I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this. So I was like, well, how else would you be able to put that all in one space? Can you see me? I'm getting a call, but I don't know if it's like
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
can
can
see
messing
see
you.
you
with
Yeah.
just
me.
fine.
Okay, cool. So the
Yeah,
only
that's
way I
good.
could see it all
Yeah, that's
happening
cool.
is if it was like all stacked on top of each other. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And then I just had this vision of me like walking in, front desk, like, hello, Miss Gonzalez. Hello. Like,
Yeah.
all right. Getting in the elevator, going up to the dance studio, see how the kids are doing. All right, you're doing great. Go up to the next. Someone's in the recording studio, like making their new album. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
just what I saw.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
So, so yeah, that's where I see it going.
But
Middle ground.
did you have this
Uh-huh.
like kind of like vision when you were like a kid or more teenager or more recently? Like I'm trying to get the time frame.
Okay, yeah. So this was more recently in my adult life. When I was a kid, like a tiny kid, my dream was to be a pop star, and that's still something I like want to like dive into. But
Yeah.
I'm going through this phase where I'm like ripping away all of the things that are like making me scared to actually go for it. So I'm in that process of just letting go of all doubts and fears and
What exactly scares
figuring it out.
what exactly scares
Uh,
you right now about doing that?
Um, I think it's like with change comes like discomfort, and I know it's going to take a lot of shifting and lifestyle change and things I'm going to have to let go of. Because like think about it, if you like really want to do something like that, you're becoming really vulnerable in front of a lot of people. You don't know how much you're going to grow, or you don't even know how much you're going to fail. Like it's just like it's a whole new paradigm shift for myself, and I'm like, am I ready to dive into that? Like, are you ready? I'm like, I don't know, maybe, but I know it's what I want, so it's like, just do it.
One thing that I think with social media and stuff, I feel like you can almost create your own career. Like you can be like your own pop star versus to going through like the traditional Hollywood route. Having to get signed with like TV network or whatever. And that's the beauty in it, and it gives you the freedom to do what you want to do. You don't have to put on a front
Yeah,
for a show or whatever.
definitely.
So that's the dope
I
thing
think
about
that's
it.
another thing, is that seeing people who are very like famous on social media, especially right now. I don't know if y'all keep up with like YouTube community stuff or the
Kinda, yeah.
beauty community in particular.
Mhm.
It's like people are
Yeah,
being dragged.
Rohan definitely
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't know how much it bleeds into mainstream YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
so lots of people in the beauty community are like being dragged, like just being dragged so hardcore. And I think that's another fear of mine. Like, oh my God, what if like one day somebody finds out something about me and then they drag me on the internet and blah 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 blah.
When you say
Like,
dragged, like what do you exactly mean by that?
like people are like crucifying, like they'll find like Laura Lee, for example, some people uncovered some racist tweets from her past. Not saying I had racist tweets in my past, but I have some dumb shit I've probably said.
Yeah.
But she yeah, so like she had these racist tweets from like 5-6 years ago, and like people like were just like, it was so bad, like death threats, and like they ruined her entire career. Like she lost so many deals and stuff. Not saying what she said in those tweets was okay by any means, but I just feel like the ratio is just like way off. Like people are just being like really hard. Yeah, just intolerable. Like people make mistakes, people can learn, and people can change, and I don't know.
Yeah, and I totally like. Here's the thing, I like what I realize these days is like, dude, everybody fucking gets so outraged over everything right now
People
in
are
our current.
sensitive.
Yeah, they're really sensitive, and it's like, here's the thing, I think we have to, like, as a society and stuff, we have to show more compassion toward people, man. Like, realize that people fuck up in life, right? You're right. Maybe what she said wasn't like, I don't know, PC or whatever, but we should
Not at all.
we should just learn to like, hey, forgive and stuff as a society. And also, like, I think Joe Rogan makes a great point where like you're definitely not the same person that you were like 7 years ago.
100%.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. Shit.
I couldn't agree with you more on that statement. I feel like that's where there's a huge lacking. I feel like there was a huge shift in like people waking up and seeing things that are not okay. That's not okay. That's not okay. You can't say that. That's probably shouldn't say that. But also, I feel like there needs to be a shift in like how we approach it and how we move forward from it. Because yeah, we're definitely lacking in the compassion department, like on a grand scale.
It's funny
agree.
because all of us are like minorities, and we're talking about this, and I feel like there's so many people who are like pissed off for us, and like
that's
the thing,
it's so
right?
funny, like why people are pressed, and yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yo, I can't speak for all my people, but what I can say is like for me personally, I'm okay with I'd rather have like a freaking KKK member down the street fucking I hate tanks and stuff. Because that's the beauty of America. That's why my family came to America, so we could express, like, no matter what your view is, like, no matter how fucked up it is, at least no one can silence you. But when you go down that route of like getting silenced and shit, like, dude, it's a slippery slope. What do you silence? What don't you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like, what boundaries are there? Because yes, you can express what you want, but where is that boundary where it's like where it starts to affect other people? Like, because you can't have somebody who's like KKK, I hate blacks, this and that, and then is like shooting people or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
that's
there's
Well,
a,
that's the
that's
borderline.
different.
That's
That's
the
borderline.
borderline. Like, I'm just talking about expression, not like physical violence at
I
that
see.
point.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But wouldn't like here's a theory, but doesn't it like inch you like more? Like the more you feel like you can get away with, the more like it you take this step and then it's this step. Like first it's just saying things and the next it's just doing little things here and there. I don't know.
But
I'm
that's
just
the
playing
beauty
devil's
of it, because
advocate.
like, dude, when people are like who are like non-educated, like like in you're not silencing the other side. There's you can have discussion and you guys can debate, and there's freedom of
Discuss.
communication right there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
See,
that
I don't get offended personally. Like I've never been the type of person to get offended. Like if, say, if a white person came up to me and was like, "Oh, you effing N word," you know, I don't want to cuss on the street.
effing ninja, I need to get monetized, man.
Yeah. So I mean, like when people do that, like I mean, I just in my perspective, I'm just like that's really ignorant, and I'm not gonna let that anger me. You know, I feel like if you show them some type of response, it just fuels them even more. Like you're like they're getting to you. I mean, that's with anything. If anything gets to you, people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep messing with them." But if it ever, like you
Yeah.
said, got to the point to where it's like he's like, "You effing whatever," and then he came up and like hit me, then that's a whole nother story.
That's
'Cause
a moral star.
Yeah.
that's physical. Yeah, that's physical. You know. But I mean, as far as verbal, especially when you have your own beliefs and stuff, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't take offense. I mean, like he said, it's America. You know, people have their own opinions. I may not believe you might, you know, we might all disagree on something, but you know, I don't think it should get to the physical level. That's the borderline.
Yo,
sure.
let me ask you guys,
Yeah.
have you guys ever like growing up or anything, have you guys like faced any sort of racism, that sort of stuff? I probably Rohan. Like, dude, I look at your face and you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very like but I haven't experienced like straight up like somebody came up to me and said that, but it's very subliminal, like subliminal. I don't even know the word for it, but like so like back when I was in high school, there's a Walgreens down the street from the high school. Got out of school, walked into Walgreens. You know, all these white kids walk in. You know, whatever. I come in with my backpack. They're like, "Oh, you need to take off your backpack and leave it by the thing."
Oh shit.
Or like they're always like watching me and stuff. I'm like, hey, now that irritates me. Not gonna lie, that irritates me. Just if I were you, just say something, you know. And it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I've experienced a lot of that throughout my life, and just even like you know I'll get to this. I've actually talked to girls who you know their parents are racist, and
Yo,
like
Asian,
I don't know.
why
like,
you look at me, man?
I don't know.
Asian parents.
Oh,
probably,
yeah,
they probably are, by the way.
They were Asian parents, and it's just like they were already judging me based on you know just the color of my skin, and it's funny because they're you know like say like that girl's brother, he's Asian and he does way worse stuff than I do, you know, like harder stuff. I don't you know, but it's just like they already have that judgment based on the color of my skin, and it really
Right.
sucks because it's like I mean there's some things you can't control, especially you know talking or dating a girl. It's like if you're around the family and stuff, it's just like an awkward vibe. And it sucks. It really sucks, but what can you do? But at the same time, there's a lot of pros and cons. There's a lot of pros to, you know, being like I'm like, oh, I wish I was like white or Asian, whatever. It's just like I'm very happy and blessed that I'm half black, half Indian, especially because I get to, you know, see two completely different, you know, cultures.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm basically just a mix of that. So I've definitely experienced a lot of racism though, especially in Texas too. It's just like,
Oh
and
really?
it-
Like what
yeah.
happened?
I mean, like I said, just like the subliminal stuff, the Asian parents, white parents, just even you know, even like this is weird, but like even my mom, she would rather me go out at night if I was going to like the Sonic down the street. She'd rather me go with a white friend than by myself, you know. And it's not even.
Is it that bad? down
I
there?
mean, I think it's just the fear. I mean, I feel like the media and stuff really portrays that fear. You know, you got Trayvon Martin and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it like there's this movie that's coming out actually. I just saw a preview, and it was talking about like how some black kid, you know, just was reaching to get his brush and then got shot by a cop. It's
wow.
yeah, and that actually angers me, you know. And I guess it's just that fear, like when I go out at night, I'm afraid to put on a hoodie, you know, because I might seem suspect or something, you know.
Yeah.
And
That's so crazy.
yeah, especially being, you know, they don't know. They're like, what is he, a terrorist or is he a gangster? They look at me, they're confused. So, but yeah, it's definitely.
That's just so unfair though. Like
I
you
know
shouldn't have to think twice about what you're gonna wear. Like
it sucks.
that's so crazy.
Yeah, like I can't go out with the hood. Like if it's cold, I'd rather put my hoodie down and just like deal with the cold than have any risk of, you know, doing that. And one thing about coming to Cali, I just feel a lot more comfortable with the cops too. Like I've had friends who, like they'll get caught with a little bit of weed like that are black, and they'll go to jail for the weekend, like a little bit, and then I have white friends that get caught with like tons, and then or like harder drugs, and they don't even get a ticket, they get a warning. You know, it's it's definitely that's why it's just it's a whole nother world. You know, it's even over here. I mean, just America in general, you just have racists. So
Yeah. But honestly, like I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But after listening to like all the shit that you go through, I think this is the importance of like freedom of expression, because like you guys can communicate your point of view. Like for me, like I can't relate to that because like of like the minority, I don't know what they call us, like Asian people.
You're the
smart, yeah. Smart.
model minority.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. Model
Yeah,
minority. Yeah.
That's a good
So
one.
Yeah.
like yeah, exactly. So it's like hard for me. Like I never had to go through that, and so it's really like it gives a lot of perspective once you like shine that light on that. How about you, Brittany? Like, what kind of stuff have you gone through?
Yeah, there's probably a couple things. I know there's a lot of,
it's funny. What are you saying,
no,
Rohan?
go ahead.
Um, I rarely, and I've come to terms with this, that I actually, as a light skinned Latina, that comes with a lot of privileges. Like I honestly haven't ran into much blatant racism. If anything, I get more of the stereotype, like, oh, you're Latina, you're supposed to be curvy and spicy and this and that and fierce. And I am all those things, but like it's
I
not
am the
because I'm
stereotype, but
Latina.
you know, I'm more than
But
that.
like I'm way more than that, exactly. And the one time that was really that really got to me actually was when I was dating this Chinese guy in college.
Shit, why does he have to be Chinese, man?
Because this is
true.
important.
Okay.
It's important to the story.
Damn.
So he came. So his parents were like, he was first generation, so his parents were from China.
Yeah.
And his mom like straight up told him that she didn't like me because I was Mexican, and I was like,
You know,
all right,
throughout this conversation,
well then.
I feel like I think Asians are more racist than white people.
Oh hell yeah.
Dude, I feel like I'm being so serious. And it's funny. It's funny, but it's
you're
true.
right.
Like I mean, I've literally had more racism from Asian people than white people in my life.
Well, here's the difference, is that when a white person is racist, it contributes to the systematic racism in the country. But when an Asian person is, it's like it doesn't really have the same effect. It still hurts, but it doesn't have the same grander scale effect as when white people are. So
yeah, I don't think
there's
that's like
that.
I don't think that's like well known. Like, dude, like a lot of
Nobody talks about it, bro. Nobody talks
no one
about
ever
it.
talks about Asians being. I mean, like it's funny because you see the skits and people talk about it like within our community, but I don't think it's like well known within like general population. Like
No.
all of JK films, like they're like comedic skits. It's all based on like it's like racist humor and stuff like that, and how Asians are so racist against everyone and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
but I feel
But how
like,
did that make you feel like when the mom said that to you, man?
it made me feel like I was dirty or something. I'm like,
Really.
what? Like it made me feel so gross, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't even know me. And then I didn't feel comfortable at their place. Needless to say, it didn't work out with
I feel you
that
on that
guy.
100%. You don't even feel comfortable going to the house anymore. You're like, you just
Yeah.
feel weird. Like it's just like you feel like you don't belong. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a weird.
It's a
feeling.
weird,
It's a weird
like,
feeling. And it's not even like you've
mm.
done anything. It's not like who you are, what you've done, or like you've done something bad to him. It's literally because of your
Well,
ethnicity.
Dude, I'm like thinking about that movie Get Out right now.
Dude, that
Wait,
okay. You know what's so funny
Chinese mom.
about that movie? I watched it. Okay, so I watched it, and then the second time I watched it. Can I say that I was under the influence of something?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't
So
care
watched
what you
it-
say. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I watched it while I was high,
Yeah.
and I was like that movie is so genius the way that they constructed it. Like when
Yeah.
you watch it a second time, it has a whole nother experience. And then because I was high, I make like different connections to
yeah.
movies and stuff. Yeah. So that movie is just so genius. I love it so much. So good.
It's crazy though, but like at the same time, like all this like kind of like subliminal racism and stuff, it kind of fuels me in a weird way. Like I kind of like it's like, all right, so you want to look at me like that? Like, I'll prove you wrong, you know? It's kind of
Yeah, definitely.
because even like, just to say, for instance, like me as a black male dropping out compared to a white male dropping out is completely different. It's looked at in a completely different aspect, you know? So I don't know. It does feel me. It almost makes me want to like prove them wrong in a sense, but not even for them. It's for like myself. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get that too, but here's the thing that I don't like, especially like with Asians right now, is just like in the Asian community, it's kind of like you know that movie Crazy Rich Asians and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
But you heard of it and you heard the hype. Like the only thing, my biggest fear is like, dude, I just want it to be a good fucking movie, not just like because it's an Asian cast or Asian people in it, you know? Like, dude, I just want it to be a fucking good film, and I don't want to be like that token, you know, just known for being, oh, that Asian guy, you know? That's like, I think that's a huge insult, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I haven't seen that movie though, but I have been hearing reviews that it actually is a good movie.
Yeah,
like not just
not
just because it's like an all Asian cast, that it like legitimately is a really good movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
You see what David said?
Rohan, I want to read out this comment. David says, I used to mess with this white girl. Grandparents were racist, but they were like, I would have voted for Obama for a third term racist.
I don't get it. That's my homeboy David, actually. Shout out to David.
It's fucking funny.
Oh my god, I wish I could see the comments and stuff. I can't see any of it. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Do I have to go on your Facebook to
I think so,
see
but
it?
you have to mute the
You have to do it like on your phone or something. If you go on YouTube on your phone and then click on it and then just like look at like the chat, like don't look at because if you look at your phone and do it, it's gonna trip you out.
Yeah.
But shout out to David. Thanks for hopping on the live, bro. I know you saw my Instagram.
That's fucking.
Snapchat.
That's freaking funny.
That is funny.
Man.
It's true though. I think I've
That
actually
is
talked to
pretty
him
funny.
about that. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
It's scary. You know, actually, all right. You know, I'll tell you guys a little story. So there was this one white girl I wasn't really talking to, but we were texting and stuff, and we hung out one time, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, my dad like hates black people." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, he has like a lot of guns and stuff." And I just blocked her after that. That's actually scary, dude. Like I could literally lose my life just because of like, that's scary. Like that actually like gives me like
goosebumps and
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then you know what's true? That somebody just said it. American Prince, whoever.
American princess says there's racists everywhere.
It is very true. And you know one thing I've noticed
says Texas got racist. And then David says, yes, we have. Texas is wild.
Yeah, no, but really, there's a lot of racists that are. My dad told me if he always told me if you have like a neighbor, and they don't invite you over for anything, and it's just like throughout like many years, it's like they're most like there's a lot of racists, but they won't like verbally say it. They only talk about it in like their family or like at home. There's a lot of that. A lot of that.
But what do you guys think about like people who like are in your community, right? And they're the type that like kind of, I don't want to say prove like they fit the stereotype, and like they're like, fuck man, like I don't know about you guys, but for me it's just like, fuck man, this is why we can't have good shit in life. You know what I mean? Like, you know I don't know how verbal.
Yeah.
Like Asians that like fit the stereotype. Is that what you're talking about?
Like yeah, people in like your ethnicity and stuff, and they purely fit the stereotypes, and you're like, fuck. Yeah. I don't know. For me,
no, like, it's fuck. True, and that's why like when black people act stupid and they do some dumb stuff, I'm like, bro, you're literally filling the stereotype, and it makes it worse and it makes it hard. But at the same time, I don't know. There's sometimes I see some videos on the internet and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well now I see why they're afraid of me when I walk past. You know what I mean? It's just like,
well, you kind of have to like dissect the stereotype. Like, okay, what is it first of all? Like, let's take the stereotype, like a really like simple one, like all black people like watermelon, right? Whatever. Just for example.
No, you don't understand like that. Okay, go ahead.
But hold on. But if you really dissect, where does that come from? If you look back in time, like at the old like minstrel cartoons, they used to depict black people like eating the watermelon like that. But come on, everybody fucking loves watermelon. Watermelon's so good. And just because when a black person likes it, all of a sudden, you know, like Sorry, that was a really silly example.
No,
but
it's
whatever. Like
really
you
not.
have to like dissect it. It comes from somewhere, and it's a result of something.
Oh my
You
god.
don't understand, because like that literally Kevin tells me that all the like anytime we're out somewhere and there's watermelon.
Dude, even at the jump cut thing.
Yeah, we were like, there's like a little, like all these fruits, and there's a little bit of watermelon. It's like, hey Ron, I know you're going crazy. You want some watermelon? Like,
No,
bro.
I didn't say.
And what you said-
I
you
didn't
said-
say you like you're going crazy. I was like, hey, Rohan wants some watermelon.
Yeah,
I
like
gave you that
randomly,
look.
there's all that fruit, all that fruit. It's just like consistently. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But I feel like there's also a new wave of like racial stereotypical jokes like that, where it's like you're not actually like you're making fun of the joke that is the joke. Whereas like
we're making fun of the ignorant people
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
it's not
Like
like
that's
you're
right,
seriously-
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You're not actually thinking that. Yeah,
I
exactly
put
what
that
you
in
just
that one,
said.
made it
Yeah.
seem like you were like super. Nah, he's just.
I am.
It's just like one of those things that it's funny that you just specifically point out that one.
Yeah.
It's because it came from nowhere too. It's funny.
But I'm thinking about like worse ones, right? Like black people.
I know it's-
steal or
yeah.
something like that,
That's
right?
true.
That
You know,
one.
I've never stolen a day in my life. I haven't taken anything ever.
So how does it make you feel like when you see someone who's black who steals?
It's just like, bro, you're fitting the stereotype. But then, you know what's funny? A lot of my white friends, they steal more than black people, and that's because they get away with it. You know, like they'll go to
Exactly.
When I was younger, we used, well, not me, but like I used to know these kids these white kids, they used to go to academy, and elite socks were really popular, but they were like $15 a pop for a pair of socks. So they would go in, grab a whole bunch of elite socks, put them on, like 10, 15 pair of socks, and then walk out, and then no one would say anything. And then like, you know, like me or like one of my friends, like they'll come in like check us, and we haven't even like touched anything or went in the dressing room, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think there's this stereotype about black people being thugs or criminals or this or that, like, you know, just negative things like that. But there are a lot of people in black communities that do fit those roles. But then you have to think about like the history and like what series of events led up to so many black people being stuck in these kind of like impoverished communities. Like it was a systematic thing that happened. Like nobody legit like chooses to be that way. There were so many times that when black communities would thrive, like I forgot where this happened, and I suck at remembering details about history. But there was a point in time when there was this huge black community. I want to say it was in Chicago, and they were on the rise. They were on the rise. Like they were thriving with like all types of black owned businesses and everything, and it all got burned down. Because
I get it, right? Like I understand what you're saying, right? Have more compassion, try to understand where people are at, right? But I'm talking about that gut react. I'm not talking about like an intellectual.
I see what
you're talking about. The gut
mean.
reaction, like the fuck, man, like, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. But sorry, I get so philosophical, but yeah, and
No,
it's like,
I get it.
But it's like, where's that gut wrenching feeling coming from? Like, why do you have that? In the first
because
place?
it's like, dude, I'm like, because I'm not like that, you know, and I hate like, it's kind of like you know, like when people just assume that you have no substance to you, you're just another pretty face. How does that make you feel, right? It's almost the same type of feeling that I get too. So yeah, I get it. Like,
it's kind of like, why are you ruining it for all of us who are actually like trying to do something else and be fit a different like mold kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So coming out, okay, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So coming out to California, did you come like straight up? Okay. I mean, we can keep talking about this.
No, I didn't even expect to be talking about race. And
I know,
shit.
cause that's what the.
I know.
Yeah. So coming out to California, did you have any like did anybody like did you go like straight out of like did you guys graduate from UT and then just came straight over here? Like did you take a year to work, or like did your family support you, or do you have family here? Or like okay, let me hear it.
So yeah, no, those are great questions. So after graduating UT, I actually went back home to San Antonio for a year, and I was working. I actually got that year after I graduated was so weird. I ended up getting into like a MLM business thing, and that was
Everybody
like weird.
Dude, I fell for like 2 of those, man. It's cool.
Oh my god!
Which one was
so then it was ACN.
ACN.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. You sell like cable and phone
Oh, really?
services and
I
stuff
know they have
like
one for
that.
like insurance, and then they have like the knives, Cutco. Yeah.
Oh no, not that one. No, heck
Dude,
no,
for a
no,
second I
no,
thought you
no.
said AZN. I was like, what the fuck?
AZN.
Yeah, AZN, baby girl.
AZN.
Yeah.
No. And then, oh, I worked at Coyote Ugly as a bartender,
Oh really?
and I stayed. Yep, I was on that bar performing and dancing my face off. It was a
What?
lot of
That's
fun.
dope.
It was hard work though.
My friend's
Shit.
mom used
That
to
was,
own one. Used to own a location in Texas, Fort Worth. Yeah, Coyote Ugly.
you're
She's
what?
my
What?
friend's mom. She used to own a Coyote Ugly location in
No
Texas.
way. That's so
Yeah, I saw like the
cool.
old pictures. They're crazy there. I mean, I'm not. I can't go to, but yeah, yeah. But anyways, so continue.
So yeah, so around I think it was on New Year's Eve of 2015. I was at home and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I want to move to LA. Like I'm dead set on it. I had been wanting to move to LA since I was like 13.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then so I wrote up this entire plan how I was going to save up my money and this and that. And then I told my mom, and she was just like, "Oh my God, like you're really serious about this." And I was like, "Yeah." And then by May, I had packed up all my shit and I drove my car out here with my mom and another cousin of mine.
Mm.
And I stayed with family. So I have a lot of family out here. So that really helped me out
That's
a lot.
yeah.
So I
I
stayed
bet.
with family for a year. I was only paying like $300 for rent. In a way, that was like a blessing and a curse because I was like hella still in like party girl mode. So I was like, yeah, I don't have to make that much money because my rent is so cheap and I can
Mhm.
party and this and that.
Of that
So it
LA
took me
life.
a long time to move out.
Mhm.
Cause you were
Then
kind
I
of
finally
comfortable,
did.
right? Is that?
I was hella comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hella comfortable. Even my cousin that I was staying with, she was like, "Yeah, I could have done a better job and like giving you some tough love." And I was like, "It's okay. It all worked. It all worked out anyway." So,
So funny.
but yeah, my family has always been super supportive. They miss me a lot, but
Mm.
thankfully, even like coming from a Latino family, like I've had a lot of support for wanting to do what I do and just like move out.
Mm.
Because that's not typically like the case in a lot of Mexican families.
What is it usually
Yeah.
like in like growing up in a Mexican family? What would they normally be doing?
Usually, very similar to what my mom did. So she stayed with, we all lived in my grandma's house.
Mhm.
Even when she got married, my stepdad like moved into the house with us. And we all just lived under one roof. And then when I was like 12, she finally moved out. And so it's usually like that. You usually just all stay under one roof or really close to each other
Mhm.
at least. And you all just like, I don't know, you just build your life together instead of
That,
like
mhm.
going away
Super.
from the bird's nest. So,
That's dope though, cause you know what's crazy? Growing up, I actually had there's a Hispanic family like right next to me. I was really cool with their son. We used to hang out, play basketball every day, and they took me in like
hmm
family, dude. Cause like I mean, my parents are divorced. I only have my mom, so like whenever they'd have like cookouts or like on Christmas, they'd give me gifts. Like I literally felt like a part of the family,
Oh, dude.
and it's dope.
oh,
Yeah, it's dope, man. That they really have
hmm
like a very like warming. Cause I mean, growing up, honestly, I didn't really have like a family. I'll go more into that later,
mm.
but yeah, go ahead.
Well, how is it for you? You're 18 years old, right?
19,
Uh,
19. I've had
19,
it.
sorry.
Now
21
you're good.
Savage.
21, 20. No.
21.
Kevin said you were 18, so
17.
blame him.
17, man.
He's,
Uh,
I mean, you're like 14 years old. How are
yeah.
you doing it? I'm just kidding. Um,
You're 12,
All right.
man.
You know what? Fine. I'll give you guys a little bit I'll give you a little like little life thing. So,
Yeah,
basically
I wanna
growing
know.
up,
Drop it on us, man.
Drop it on-
Give
okay.
us the full story, man.
the full story. Okay. All right. So basically, growing up, I grew up as the only child. Forward Texas. My parents were together till I was like around 8 years old. They got a divorce. My dad moved to Memphis. My mom. I live with my mom in Texas, still at the same house. Everything. Ended up getting a dog. Love my dog to death. She's still alive. She's like 12. She's getting really old, but so yeah. So me and my
Mm.
dad still maintain a good relationship. He would drive down once a month to come see me. It's an 8-hour drive, so
Speak louder.
I'm really thankful because my dad used to come down and see me at least once a month, and it's an 8-hour drive. So
Dang.
yeah. Anyway, so fast forward, the divorce kind of like I was only had my mom, and my mom used to work, so I only had my dog, and like I was the only child, so I was at home a lot. So growing up, like I said, I had my neighbors. They took me in like family. And I
Mm.
went honestly, I went through like a lot of like little phases as a kid. Like I had one phase where like I was a skater, and then like a huge gamer phase, and then just throughout time I just was really able to find myself. I never really had like not in a bad way, like I love my dad and like we still have a great relationship, but you know how like a lot of kids, like their dad played basketball, so like they play basketball, basketball's in their hand. I never had that. Like I
Yeah.
picked up basketball just because like I enjoyed basketball. I picked up golf because like I enjoyed golf. I always used to try stuff. And so fast forward, graduation, had a great high school, you know, had a lot of friends. It was a great experience. And after that, I didn't want to go to university directly just because of student debt, and I think college is ridiculously overpriced. So I just took a year to, you know, do
Mhm.
community college. It was paid for. Took a year, did that majority online, and I actually worked at Honda selling cars. And turns out I'm really good at selling cars. So, so I made really good money doing that, but I didn't feel fulfilled. And throughout high school, I built my clothing brand up, and it was doing really good. But as I started to work, I started to lose sight of that, and I actually kind of completely forgot about it. Stopped doing anything with my brand for like months and months.
Yeah.
And so I was just like I feel like I got stuck, you know, like you said, like I got caught up in just doing, you know, just working, and like, you know, I lost like my true passion. And so I quit Honda back in Texas, went to New York, went to LA. Those are always places that I always wanted to go just because like fashion and like the people that you surround yourself with. Went to New York. It was cool, but then I came to LA and I literally like fell in love with LA. And
What did you like about LA?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just not only just like the people that you see, and it's just like the environment. I honestly just like the city. Like I like how you can go to the mountains, you got the city, then you got the beach. It's just like
Mhm.
all in one to me.
Was this when you like when we first met? Was that like when you were checking out LA, or
yeah, that's actually when I first met him at this at with the line, right?
we're at Line Hotel. We actually, it's so funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it, like Brittany's face is like,
Uh,
what the fuck? I had crazy nights there.
No,
Everybody
yeah.
yeah,
That's
everybody
funny.
used to go to Line Hotel back in the day.
Gotcha.
But we actually, you know what's really cool about that? We actually met through the jump cut community, and he sent out a message. He was like, "Hey, anyone down to meet up
In
And-
LA, 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
did
down.
anybody else hit you up? It was me.
Just you, and I think like maybe one other person said
Yeah.
something, but it wasn't nothing serious. And I don't think so. I think it was just you. Other people said like, oh, like you should find somebody, but like nobody like ever.
And then we literally like we just met. Like literally like 30 minutes later we were shooting a podcast together. It was pretty fucking crazy.
That's
came
so
up here.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then just from that experience itself, I'm like, dude, I would never have that in Texas, you know? And
Oh, no.
overall, just meeting the whole people at Jump Cut, meeting you, meeting people like that, it's like, wow, like there's a lot of careers out here that are,
The sound is off. Try turning the mics on and off. It's like stuck on this sound.
Wait. It's skipping.
Yeah, there it is.
Got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was skipping.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was
So,
skipping. It was going.
where
Where
did I leave off? Where do you hear me?
Talking about seeing that there's so many other like creative jobs out there.
Yeah, there's just a lot of
out
creators
here.
out here, and actually I have a close family friend who basically he's like my mentor out here now, and I knew that I could always reach out to him. He's had a lot of experience in like the whole digital media stuff, and I don't know, it's just a lot of different factors, and you know, I felt like this is where I belong. Like it was just more of like a feeling. Like I was like, this is where I need to be. This is where I know I'll thrive. You know, being at home, I don't know. I'm not sure if I got to this or if you could hear me, but like my mom, like I love my mom and everything, but it was very like toxic being at home. Like, you know, she wouldn't understand when I was in my room and I was working on like my clothing or like working on like my videos. she wouldn't understand what I was doing, and she's like, you need to waste your time, you're not doing anything, you're being lazy, you need to get another job, you need to pick up a part-time job. And in my head I was like I'm trying to do something. It just really kind of got toxic for me, you know, just being surrounded by like consistently, like every day. And I didn't even feel comfortable, like honestly I had trouble sleeping at night because I just felt like, I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable.
Let me ask you, Rohan, like, how long have you been away from home now?
So I've been away from home for about 2.5 months, almost 3 months.
How's your relationship with your mom right now?
It's actually gotten a lot better.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It's gotten a lot
It
better.
always gets better, man.
Even though we actually did get into like a pretty heated argument today, but like it's very rare. Like we talk a lot more than we did when I was back home. I actually went home for like 2 days recently just to see like my dog and my mom.
Oh shit.
And like, yeah, I went home and my first day I was like, oh man, I kind of miss it. Then like after my second day, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back to LA. You know?
You're like, I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, let me go get some Whataburger, you know, go see my friends, this and that. And then after that, I was just like, I mean, it was cool. Like I had a great high school experience and like high school overall, but I'm not gonna be that guy pulling up to high school parties, you know, even though I'm like a grown man, you know.
Yeah, you're a grown 12-year-old man.
Yeah.
No, but
that's
dude,
funny how that works. Huh?
It's funny, like, because I was actually talking to my mom the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and she's telling me like she was so happy that I moved to LA because something changed in my dad. Like all of a sudden, when I moved to LA, I'm not sure if it's the distance or that real physical reminder that hey, he's not here in Boston anymore, or he's not here at home anymore. I don't know. It hits his parents in a different way, and at least
It does.
Yeah. Well, Brittany, let me ask you how has your relationship with your parents or your mom has changed since you moved out here?
Well, it's just me and my mom, and she in the first year I got into a lot of trouble like out here. It was really bad.
You're going to a line hotel, I can understand why.
Yeah. I mean, just painting that picture for you. So a lot of there was a lot of yelling, a lot of not trusting, like her not trusting me, and then in turn me not trusting myself. But then once we worked through it, it became the complete opposite. Like now she trusts me like more than she ever has, and same for trusting myself. And our communication has improved so much. It went from like constant like scolding, like you're wrong, you don't know this and that, to like, hey, can you talk to me like a human being and listen to what I have to say and this and that. And the thing about parents is just at the end of the day they mean well, whether they're like yelling at us or in what may seem to us like discouraging. It's all just coming from a place of love. And they just want to see us, they don't want to see us get hurt. And you know, if it looks like we're going to do something tricky or that's like out of the norm, it can be scary for them. But yeah, just trusting myself and making better choices and just showing up like has really improved our relationship.
That's good.
So yeah.
And I think that's so important to realize that our parents love us, but at the same time when they give us advice and all that sort of stuff, to realize that, I guess, I don't want to say we know more than them. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that think about the generation like before us. Now think 5 generations before us. How much more do we know nowadays than back then?
Right.
How has it
Information is
changed?
everywhere.
It's
Information
changed so much.
Information is everywhere.
The world is so different, right?
It's crazy.
And so
Definitely.
I think I've learned to kind of like, even from haters too, is just like learn to love from far away, like learn to love from a distance, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question.
And
I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Okay, well, I have a question for both of you guys. Whenever you came out to LA, did you like after a minute, did you start to feel lonely and kind of feel like this is like all like on your own? Look at her reaction.
Oh my God. I still to this day, sometimes I get lonely. I felt extremely lonely. I was like, oh my God, nobody understands me. Nobody knows what I want to do. I'm here by myself. And because I was very close, I still am, but I was very close to my family. And whenever like things got tough, like they were the first people I would run to. And this being lonely is kind of what got me in trouble because I started going out on like dates with just
Mm,
like people just to pass the time. And
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna like get mad at myself about that because like that led me to my boyfriend now, so
Oh, that's
whatever.
good.
But
Yeah.
it was just like sometimes like are you doing something because you're lonely or are you doing something because like this is like good for
You
you and
because
a
you want
healthy
to.
thing?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Kevin?
Yeah. See.
Dude, I was hella lonely, man. Like, cause my quick story was like I couldn't find a job back home, and so my friends were like, "Dude, you should move to LA." I never wanted to go move to LA in my whole entire life, but I just
Really.
fucking threw a hail mary and just did it, right? Yeah. So I had friends like in the area, sort of, but you know how California is, like it's so spread out. Like I was living like at least like an hour or two away from my other friends and stuff, and so it was really hard just like starting all over again. It was really difficult. But
Yeah.
what I also realized too was like, okay, since I'm feeling like this, there's probably other people feeling this too. So what if I could connect other people who felt like this together? And we actually
Mhm.
started becoming a lot closer. We formed our own group and shit, and it's just like you just with time and with I don't want to only say with time, but with time and effort, man, you can do some pretty amazing things. And now I rarely ever feel that, man.
That's good. See,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm going through that right now. Like it's
Yeah.
like at least like I mean I was the only child, so like you said, you had your family to like rely on or like talk to.
I was the only child as well,
Oh,
though.
you
I
were?
want to let you
Okay.
know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't know that. But you had like your, I guess. But even back home, I didn't really talk to my mom like that. So, but at least I
Yeah.
could go hang out with friends. But over here, I mean, I have friends and stuff, but it's not to the extent to where it was in Texas, where it's like I can just pull up or whatever. And just like having that was actually something I really didn't realize was a pretty big factor. And just like even like I mean, don't get me wrong, my mom supports me being out here, like emotionally, but just I can tell like she wants me to like it's a lot like basically I'm all on my own, like everything like all my stuff like is all like all me, and it's just been kind of rough. It's almost like, are you trying to test me to see like if I can do this by myself, or like are you trying to like prove me right, like I can't do this right now, like I should
Mm.
have did your way, you know?
Yeah.
Do you ever
Uh,
have doubts like whether you can
oh
actually
yeah.
make it work?
Oh yeah, all the time. But at the same time, I have a really strong belief in myself and what I'm doing. That like I know that it's event like even if it doesn't work out today, it doesn't work out tomorrow. I know I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep trying different ways, or maybe even
Um.
new or different methods. To get what I want done. And I'll most probably run across things that I might want to do differently. But yeah, I mean, most definitely, especially, this is one thing that I've actually been thinking a lot about is metrics on social media. Especially, I mean,
Yeah.
you want to do something with social media. I mean, you have your YouTube channel. Like we all have something correlating to, broadcasting to an audience, and getting caught up in those numbers can really affect your self-esteem. It really, really can, especially if you're not growing at the rate you want to. Like, I mean, because you get caught up in seeing other people. Like, you see, like
Right.
I might see a kid like go from like 0 to 100K in like a week, like a month or two. I'm like, what the, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? And then you start to base
Yeah.
everything off of that. But then once you do that, you don't have the drive. Like for my YouTube channel, I've gotten to the point today where I just enjoy making videos. I stopped caring about the numbers, and it's funny. Ever since I stopped doing that and caring about like all this and that, I've actually been growing more than when I did care, when I was like forcing
Exactly.
content. And just I feel like focusing on the craft is something. It just like it's really been eye opening to me, because I don't feel doubt anymore, because I have nothing to base. The only thing I can base is my own work, but I can choose whether to fix it or not.
Yeah.
I can't base,
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna base like my self-esteem on other people's opinions. So
Exact.
yeah,
Vanity
Snaps.
metrics, man.
it's very
Vanity.
true. It can really get to you, man. Especially doing social media, YouTube and stuff, for like my clothing brand. Who's buying this? How many followers am I getting? Oh, I used to grow like this. Now I'm going like this. It can really like take a toll on you as a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why like
Yeah.
I feel like that self gratitude, self love, man, is so fucking important. I know it sounds kind of woo woo and shit,
But it's true.
but
I'm all about the woo woo. I don't care.
it's so.
I love it.
But you see where it is. It's just like these vanity metrics, right? People are telling you what you should be. People are telling you what kind of content you should create. all this sort of shit. And I get it. There's like a certain balance between the business and like what you want. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, who the fuck cares how many followers you have? Like, dude, I have a pretty small dick channel, but I know, like, for sure, I made more. Yeah, Brittany's still gonna laugh.
Small dick channel.
I have a small dick. Yo, stereotype, right? But no, I have a small dick channel, but I know, like, at the end of the day, like, I help so many people. Like, I get the emails. I like even monetization, like, because I've learned how to really kind of develop like a high income skill or how to serve businesses. My whole life has completely changed, and I stopped caring about the number of subscribers. Because you look at any gaming channel, right?
100%.
Oh my god, so many freaking trolls on those gaming channels,
dude.
But you know, those hip hop comments on those music videos, those are fucking funny. But it's like the type of people I want to attract. It's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to better themselves in that sort of way, you know? So I'm cool with it. But I don't know. How about you, Brittany?
I think it all comes down to your integrity. Like, if you feel like you're doing what feels right, and for me, I always check in, does this feel like it connects to my divine purpose? Like, am I doing something that is in alignment with what I know I'm here to do on this planet? And if it's in alignment, then great. And the numbers will come. The numbers will be what they're supposed to be. And that's it. Like, it's as simple as that. I have the same ideals towards like making money as well. It's like, I rather be doing something that is in alignment than like, I'm tired of like slaving away, even though I hustle these days, but like all of my hustles like feel good to me. Whereas before, like, I was doing shit I fucking hated to do. And it's like, what would you rather do? Like, I would rather stick true to myself, what I feel like I want to do and need to be doing, and then the rest will follow. And it also falls in with that self-care and self-love. Like, you got to start with yourself first, checking in, grounding down, making sure everything's all good.
Yeah.
Because if you don't prime and set that foundation, then the rest that follows is just going to be like subpar. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. It's crazy, you know, meeting Kevin. I met Kevin, dude, we've known each other for only what, like half a year maybe? Or it hasn't been a year. No way.
Like
maybe like half a year, 6 months.
6 months maybe.
6 months, 8 months. But just seeing the growth in this guy too, it's been completely different too.
Dude,
it
feels like I'm fucking drinking out of a fire hose, and it feels so surreal that everything is real and happening. And
it's crazy to see, like, because the stuff that he's doing now is stuff that he was like like whenever I've never seen anybody, like, maybe because he's Asian or what, but like,
wow,
like the way how he was taking
hashtag stereotypes.
The way how he was just taking notes and like focused. I haven't seen that in anybody, and you can see the change in his mindset, the change in his confidence, the change in the way how he speaks. So it's dope, man. It's only been half a year, so imagine, like, you know, what's gonna happen. People are gonna come, you know. It's just, yeah. So I don't know what else to say, but
yeah, I think like and you guys are talking. I was just thinking about my YouTube channel recently, and I think I've actually made a huge decision with my channel. Is like, dude, as I grow, I'm just gonna document my life. I feel like there's such a huge power in just documenting. Like the other day, like, dude, I was bringing people tears with my video with my dad, right? But there's so much power in documenting, and if I can show like my journey going from like, hey, I went the stereotypical Asian route. I was a pharmacist. I was practicing. I was making fucking good money, but there can be a better way. And if I show and document that journey, that's all that matters. That's why I stopped caring about fucking vanity metrics.
That's why people like that.
Right.
That's why I feel like vlogging has got so popular. It's just because, like, you see the growth, you see the change. Like, you see this YouTuber come from living like in a, you know, in the hood to like living in like this huge man. It's dope. I mean, people personally, I like to watch the journey myself. Like, look back on memories, you know.
Yeah.
And even growing up as a kid, my mom used to record everything. So, but then there was a huge gap in my life, like throughout my childhood, that really wasn't documented. But even if you ask my friends, I was always recording every single thing that we did, almost everything. And yeah, you're right, 100%. Just documenting the experience, and I feel like if people want to see the journey, people will come. And the thing that with YouTube and anything is that it can really make an impact on someone's life that you don't even know. You know, it could really change somebody's life. Just one person, even if you have like 20 subscribers, just one person, it could really affect your life or change it in a certain way. And to me, that's so powerful. And I know you've experienced, I mean, like you just said, like, you know, with your whole article talking about your dad and stuff, people literally cry. It's crazy.
It's freaking crazy. Like the other day, somebody was texting me. Here, I'll read it out right now. But they were texting me, Kevin, thank you. I call my dad, and for the first time, I tell him, and he listened to me. So thank you for doing what you are doing. Apologize if this message interrupted you. His English isn't that great, but you like, I get those messages all the time, and that's like, I'm not like, hey guys, 3 quick tips to fix your relationship with your father. You know, dude.
All right, guys. So tip number 1.
All right,
That's
guys.
weird.
You know, like it wouldn't come out the same fucking way. But you know, like that's the power of documentation. It's why people follow people like Joe Rogan. It's the reason why people follow people like Gary Vee, because they're just capturing that process of maybe they're having a conversation. That's why I'm doing this video right now, so people can see like the conversation we'd be having anyways, right?
100%. Yeah, I mean, we would have this conversation just normally. Like this person Eddie said, Rohan, is it easy to get lazy living on your own? And you can't. Like I literally, like I moved all the way to LA. I can't get lazy. Even if I want to be lazy, I can't. I feel like I'm failing myself. I'm selling myself short. Yeah. You know, you can't be lazy. Like you said, like you have like 10 different side hustles. I have 10 different side hustles. I mean, you've gotten to the point to, you know, we're all like, it's very like, you can't be lazy. In order to be successful, I feel like you can't be lazy. And anybody that's watching, or I'm not sure if you guys watch Gary Vee at all, but Gary Vee is very like, he's implemented, like, he's like, eat shit for, you know, X amount of years in your life and just look back and see how far you've grown.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting about eating shit? One thing that I've noticed in my life.
Sorry, you cracked me up, Kevin.
Yo, like I think the biggest difference between like me before and me now versus and my other colleagues who want to get out but don't is just because like I'm willing to eat shit. I'm willing to eat a fucking dick in life just to I'm just willing to like, dude, I'm willing to suffer, man, and I'm willing to do the uncomfortable to make things happen. And I think like I think one of the things for me, right, like I had a lot of different side hustles, a lot of things I was always doing, but you know what, that was actually what I realized now looking back on it. It was actually a self-confidence issue, because if I knew I was going to succeed at one thing, I would have just gone all into it.
That's very true. And
I completely agree with you.
With self-confident, dude, that was like, I actually like literally teared up yesterday. Like I was tearing up because I was just thinking like throughout my life, like that's like that's always been like my biggest issue, is caring what people think. I've always had an issue with that my whole life, especially growing up. Like I was like bullied like as like a younger kid, and like I always tried to fit in and do things, but it just made it worse. And like even now, like when I go out in public, if I'm filming something, I still feel like shy to like pull out the camera, you know? It's like I feel like I'm not even like, I feel like I've told myself this. I've actually told people I know this, like, oh, if I had like 1,000 subscribers, you know, or like a certain amount, you know, I could do it because it seems like I'm more established. But at the same time,
how are you gonna get there if you don't start? If you don't even do it?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So that's something I have a battle with every single day, and I feel like every day I get better and better. It's just one of those things that like practice makes perfect. But yeah, my self-esteem was really tied into what other people thought about me. But now, especially being alone, it's really giving me a lot of time to just think. I mean, honestly, I mean, if people see you recording stuff, they might think it's weird, but like you're never gonna see him again. Like who cares? You know? Who cares? At the end of the day,
you're in LA. It's so normal.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not used to it yet. I've only been here for like 2.5 months.
And here's the thing too, like when people like talk shit or like say those comments, dude, it's just projection of their own insecurities upon you, right?
That's very true. It's almost like those bullies and stuff. It's like there's something that they have an insecurity about. Or I'll give you a perfect example. When I was a kid, this might sound ridiculous, right? This might sound crazy. When I was a kid, my mom used to pack me lunch every single day, right?
Yeah.
And I used to get bullied because of that, because I'd come to school with a lunchbox. But then now that I'm older, I'm like, dude, their parents would never make that for them, or like they would have to eat that nasty school food, so they would pick on me. And I got to a point, I literally told my mom to stop packing me lunch, or like I would want to carry it like in a plastic bag instead of like a lunchbox. It was like, yeah, it was pretty serious, and I feel like that's affected me a lot. I mean, because especially growing up as kids, I mean, think about how much imagination and think about all the things that we've always wanted to do, and think about all the people that have like shut us down in life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this because of that, or like, you know, like, or they just try to shun you because they can't do it themselves. But but now I'm starting to finally realize that, and it's like I feel woke, like, whoa, like I ended like the whole, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man. And I'm not saying like right now, like I don't go through those same insecurities, but it's different.
You're
now.
aware. You're aware.
Yeah, so partly awareness, but I think there's another level to that. So it's one thing to be aware, knowing that like you have your own insecurities, right? But the second part is actually setting up a system to like compensate, right?
Exactly.
So now like I don't do anything by myself anymore. I have I've been telling you, like my stream knows that I run a sales team, and the team part is the most important thing, because all those insecurities that you think you have, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Because here's the thing, you guys are a team, you guys cover each other's weaknesses, but also it's so much bigger than you. 2 chains. But
Yeah.
you know, it's so much bigger than you, man. It's not about yourself anymore. And for me, I don't know how you guys are, everybody's very different, but for me, once it's not about me anymore, it's really about helping people on a grander scale. When you have purpose, yo, you just do whatever the fuck it takes, because you know it's not only about you anymore.
Right.
Wow.
Hashtag Kevin V right over here.
Kevin V. I think I've called you that before, Kevin V. Yeah. No.
People call me Kevin Locke. People call me Kevin V.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Kevin Rogan.
Kevin. So
Oh my god.
I have a question for both of you guys. So right now, at this moment in life, where do you feel like you are? Do you feel like you're on the right path? Are you discouraged? Are you where are you at? Like how far do you think you are from achieving your end goal? And now it doesn't have to be like a physical thing, like a building, but let's just say being in a position to where like you have an entertainment company and you have multiple different levels, you know, in there. Because I kind of have like the same concept for what I'm trying to do as well. But how close do you think you are to being to a point to where you don't have to work any other job? You can be directly on, you know, like your goal. Yeah.
I feel like I have spent the past 3 years really working on my inner world and like really focusing on getting rid of all those inner demons and getting that confidence to execute. So I'm right on the precipice. I have everything planned out for my future. And then I've also done all the inner working. So I'm like right there where it's like, all right, are you going to do it? Are you going to execute it? So I'm at that place, and I feel once I click it on, it maybe the next like 2 to 3 years, I'll be like in a good like flow and pace where I want to be. Yeah.
So Brittany, let me ask you,
What
what is that aha moment? What does that exactly look like when you're ready?
Oh, it's a combination of things. It's been a combination of growing spiritually above all else for me. I'm very connected to God and my spirit guides and all that woo-woo shit that you like to call it.
That's cool. I'm very spiritual too, so I get it.
Yeah, so coming to a place where it isn't just, I'm not doing this by myself. Like I surrender to the greater power and its help and guidance along this way. Also, physically, I'm in the best shape I've been like probably in my entire life. I've been working really hard. I lost 10 pounds this year, and so just putting my putting my body in a place where I'm healthy and I've got the most energy that I need. Confidence wise, I've been doing so much like meditation work and like self-improvement, like just doing all of these workshops. Right now I'm working on the artist way. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this.
I do have it.
Yeah. I'm working on that. So I've been constantly just making it to where my inner dialogue is good to go to embark on this next chapter of my life. And emotionally as well, my mental health, I've also struggled with that in the past couple of years. I have mild depression and anxiety, so it'll flare up every now and then when I least expect it. So working through that as well. And then also just getting rid of bad habits that like hold me back. And so it's a cultivation of like improving your life in its entirety and becoming the person that you see yourself being. You got to lay that foundation first, because if you just try to jump into it, which I have done before, and I just like fall right back on my ass, I'm like, oh shit, still got something else to work on. Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Where do you feel like you're at?
I feel like I've done a lot of the things that Brittany has, like working on myself for a long fucking time. And I'll be honest with you, Brittany, I don't think there was ever a moment where I felt ready, like ever in my life. Even to this day, like I don't ever feel like fucking ready, you know?
Really?
Yeah. It's really crazy. Like I always feel like I'm drinking from a fucking fire hose every single day. And
too much this one,
yeah, so like I think here's the thing, like when you actually just implement, or you just take action, or you just do the hardest thing that you're supposed to do. Like there's been times where I just fell flat on my ass, but I've picked myself up every single time. And the more I actually do that, the more reps, the better I get at thinking about problems. The better I get with everything, man. It's fucking ridiculous. I know 100,000%, like I have so much conviction that I'm headed in the right direction. This was actually what I was supposed to be doing. And yeah, man, it's really fucking crazy. Like I'm about to make my, like if things go right, I can make my fuck you money, man. Like I can make my FU money. My FU money amount is $666,000 per year. I'm not saying I'm close to it yet, but
666.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's how I remember it.
That's the LA Illuminati, okay? Y'all wonder how I got to LA? This guy had to join.
Hey, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that's my FU money, and like I never been more clear on all the things I want to do in my life and how to actually get that. It's like
I think that's what it is. That was being really clear.
Clarity.
Oh, clarity equals money, son.
Yeah, clarity equals ready. That's what I feel.
That's very true. So I have a question for you again, or both of you guys, I guess. If something, well, I already know your answer because you've had, but I'm gonna ask you personally. If you like, okay, I'll give you like me as an example. So Jump Cut was actually having this what was it, like a fellowship, like a Facebook. So basically, it was like a fellowship. So basically, I'm not sure if you got the email. Basically, they want people, like they're about to open up a new Facebook ads course where they teach people how to do Facebook ads, and they were gonna take a small group of people and then teach them how to run Facebook ads or start a Facebook ad agency and whatever. So it's basically like one-on-one. Like you go to their office, you work with them. It's super dope. And me and Kevin, like, you know, we met him personally, so you know, helped him set up the food and all that. So we would do that. Oh yeah, we were in there, and then we kept doing it, and like there's like multiple interview processes, and like we just kept going and going and going. It was like we went through like 3 or 4, and so me coming out to LA, I was like, oh, I'm ready to go to LA, get this Facebook internship, learn how to run these ads, network, get to work with Kong. You know, they've already ran all these this and that. And literally, I was driving to like through New Mexico, and I got the email saying, "You were not accepted," yada yada yada. And I was just like, looked at it, I was like, but like I didn't like. I was disappointed, but it wasn't like, okay, let's turn back around. I was like, I got that. Like I came here on that plan, but I didn't let that affect me because I knew like overall the bigger picture while I was coming here. So even though that happened, I still came here. I still live here. I mean, I don't plan on going back home
Good.
anytime soon. So if something were to happen, you say you always plan out everything right out. If something were to happen, do you push through that, or do you try to reroute your plan, or like what do you do?
I push through it, you know. There might be I've gotten to the point where it's like if something doesn't go the way that I thought it was, I'm just very accepting, like, okay, on to the next thing. I was not always that way. I remember the first year that I was here in LA, I auditioned for a girl group, and I didn't make it. I made it to the very last round, and I got really upset. And then they ended up asking me to be part of it, and I was like, oh my god, yay! So then I was like super excited, and then I got kicked out again, and I was like, what the fuck? So it was like huge emotional roller coaster, and I had another huge like something happen like that again, and I just had to say, like, you know, I can't be depending on other people to determine like my fate and like also like my emotional like well-being. Like that's not fair to me. So you just learn to be detached to like the outcome, like whatever happens, and more just focused on staying like just in alignment. Just keep going. You can't get too attached to like any certain outcome. Just have a clear, distinct picture of where you want to go, but not like get too caught up in like the specifics and like, oh, thinking this is the opportunity. No, it might not be it. Maybe it's this. No. And then it ends up being like something you never even expected.
No, it's so funny when you're talking about like attachment to outcome. I don't think there's anything in the world that can compare to like to the world of like closing and stuff. So sales, like whether you get the sale, you get the sale. Oh shit, I'm on this high, and then you miss like 5 sales, and you're like on this eating shit. You feel like ass, man. But I think that was how when I first got into it, that's how I felt. But I think nowadays, like, you're right. It's just staying in alignment. And I don't know. I think I've gotten like really good at not being too excited, like both ways, right?
Right.
I've really learned that and kind of honed that skill. It's really cool.
Yeah, same. You have to get used to just like taking it in stride and not getting too excited and oh my god, like, even though it's like I let myself feel that once everything is like set in stone.
Yeah.
Like all the boxes are checked, and yes, you're on your way. Yes, you're gonna do this. Then I'm like,
you want to know some like deep mind fuck though? Like what's the reason why you're so excited? It's because you feel like for some people it's a scarcity mindset, meaning
exactly.
They're never gonna experience that ever again. But yeah, but for me, like, don't get me wrong, I'm always so damn grateful like for everything I have, but I'm just realizing as I'm getting more and more success, it's not like I'm not grateful. I'm grateful the whole entire time, but it's just that, you know, I realize, hey, there's always gonna be future wins in the future. You know?
There's plenty to go around. Yep.
100%. Oh yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I never thought of it like that. Like you get all excited. Yeah, because it's the scarcity mindset.
Scarcity.
Yeah. I had a really bad scarcity mindset, especially because I was so broke. So I thought like I needed every single opportunity that came my way, or else like I was gonna just crumble and fall. But it's not the case. I rejected like 5 different jobs this month because I was just like, no, don't want to do it. And then I got like 2 better ones that were like way more rewarding, and I was like, there it is. You gotta accept what you feel you deserve.
Yeah. Well, I think the same analogy goes with even girls and shit, right? Or dating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, can't get too fucking excited, or like, dude, it comes off really needy, I guess, you know? It's just like, you know? Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about needy people? I guess like when somebody's super excited, like
I feel like
out
as
of a
a
1 through 10, 15. They're 15.
well, like, do you mean like in like if she was like talking to a guy that was needy, or like just like in general?
Yeah, she's on a date,
Okay.
and the guy's
Oh
like,
yeah, girls.
hella excited.
Girls are okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna input.
Oh,
I feel
21
like
Savage.
I feel like girls kind of like the chase. Like they don't like anything that's too needy or like too fast or like too easy. They kind of want somebody. No, maybe not you, but I.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
I'm agreeing.
Yeah, so it's true. Like girls, like if you just gotta like come, like just come cool. Don't get all excited. Like, oh my god, she's. I've noticed that. Even personally. It's like when you come off like that, it's like it almost scares
Yeah.
them. But then you can't be too much of like away, because then they get all. It's weird, bro. Girls are weird.
Well, because
It's not
negative.
attractive.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I mean, what do you think, Brittany?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like,
I want to hear your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I need somebody that's like super solid in who they are, and they aren't dependent on any external thing to like for their happiness and their energizing. And so if you're like coming at me like, what can I get from you? What can you do for me? And to like fill this void I have, and I need you to do this for me. And it's like, ew, like I shouldn't be like, ew. We should be like adding to each other, not like one person taking and taking and taking.
When I took a relationship course, yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, when I took a relationship course, somebody, I don't know where I heard this analogy from, but they were saying like relationships shouldn't be like addition. Like a lot of people go out in the world, they're looking for the other half. But how it should be is actually like multiplication. You get two whole people and put them together, and that's a great relationship.
I like that.
Yeah,
that is true. Cause
well,
even
I agree with that.
Okay, you know, I'll use this as an example.
Right?
Maybe one of like my exes, like it was almost like she almost like depended on me for her happiness, you know. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. It makes it hard, especially when you want to like when it's a toxic relationship and you kind of want to end things. It's like it's like dude, like I don't know. It's scary. It's like and then you end up not being happy because you're worried about them, and it's just a whole big old thing.
I've definitely been on both sides of a toxic relationship where the person I was with was very toxic, and I've also been toxic in the relationship. And so I don't know, just I have a lot of experience when it comes to shit like that, and it's so nice to be in a place with somebody where we both have that similar experience, and we've also gone through things together where like we realized we were being toxic and we worked through that with each other. I've never experienced that with somebody. Usually it's like, ew, I don't like this, bye. But this was like, no, like we're like bye. So I used to be like that, like you're being
boy bye.
I can't do this. So it's taught me a lot about like sticking through with somebody who's like down for you. Like we're just so down for each other, and like our connection is so deep that it's like it goes beyond like our human like faults and emotions. Like we're like gonna work through it together. It's like love on a soul level. So it's like these things, these human traits and bad qualities are gonna arise, and we're down to like go through them together and like help each other.
Yeah, that's important. That's rare. That's rare to find too. You know, somebody that you can. You know, connect with like
fucking
that.
rare.
I also want to say something, Brittany. Like, dude, I think that's really great that like you're able to take responsibility. Like, one of the things that really stuck out to me was like, yo, I've been on both sides. You know, not too many people would actually say that sort of shit.
That is true. A lot of people are like, oh, I've experienced. Yeah, that's being real. That's being real. I feel like I've been on both sides as well.
No, I've been perfect, man, my whole life. I'm Asian, right?
Yeah.
So perfect.
Yeah, I'm black, so you know.
I've been like definitely I've definitely been on both sides, like, and I think for me, definitely on the side where I was looking for my other half. Like when I was talking about the addition thing, dude, I was so fucking insecure my whole life. Like that's one of the things about being Asian that I'm not sure like a lot of people really get, but it's that feeling no matter what you do, you're never enough. That perfection type of thing, man. Like dude, your parents, no matter what you do, whatever report card, oh, Ling Ling next door is doing, she's in college already. You're not good enough. And it's not even like, okay, my family was like that. My family was not like that. But being in that Asian community,
Right.
like, dude, it is so
competition.
toxic. Like,
Constant competition.
toxic for like self-love and EQ does not fucking exist in most like stereotypical Asian communities.
Yeah,
Man.
because I'm half Indian, and it's the same concept. Yeah.
Do you want to know something funny that I've been just like screaming at everybody about? Because like I feel like right now, like the whole like society is just starting to get a glimpse to see like the beauty of Asian men. And I'm like, you fucking I've been screaming this, like Asian men are like some of the most beautiful like people out there, and I've been dating Asian men since like 2011. And not to say that
that's
I'm
awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not fetishizing them because I don't date people just because they're Asian. It just so happens that like a lot of my friends are Asian, and I tend to connect with guys who are Asian, and I just think they're beautiful inside and out, like in all aspects. So I'm just like, hello, where the fuck has everybody been? Yeah. And I used to get made fun of for it. Like, oh, you like Asian guys? Don't they have small dicks? I'm like, no, like what? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, ugh. So I've just been mad. I've been mad that I was made fun of for it. And, like, now, like, everybody's like, oh, my God, Asian guys are so hot. I'm like, yeah, duh.
That's funny. Well, that's good.
Because, like,
so there's that.
I have to be honest, too. Like, when you have, like, people representing you, like, fucking Jackie Chan and, like, fucking Jet Li. Oh, what the fuck?
That's Zeke. Sorry. Somebody in the chat said my guy looks like Ezekiel Elliott, and that's Zeke right there. Bro, it's funny because at my old car dealership, my name on like they have like the sales board, and instead of Rohan, it says Zeke. So shout out to Tyrone Daquan. I don't think that's your real name, but that's definitely a stereotype. But yeah, go ahead.
No. I think that's hella funny, dude. It really does look like you.
It does look like me.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, man. So you've always dated since 2000. What was the year? How come
2012?
You know?
That's a long time.
Oh, because I'll tell you why I know this. It's because when I was growing up, I was in a predominantly like Mexican American community.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, that's when it was UT. It's in Austin. Like it's very diverse. They have a lot of different cultures and stuff. And I ended up one thing led to another, and I ended up joining a Asian sorority. So I was like around all the Asian girls, the hot ass Asian girls.
Oh, ABGs. Oh, shit.
Was it the Korean one or no? Yeah. No, it wasn't the Korean one, right? Or was it like the?
No, that's Sigmas. AKD5s were purple and white.
Got you. Hey, that Korean one, they know how to turn up though. Okay, sorry, continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. Bro. They know how to get lit. Becky, I love UT.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, no, UT is like I had such a fun time. But yeah, I was deep in the like Asian American like community at UT, and I just met so many incredible like people, and I got to really see like a whole new perspective. Like, so I feel like an honorary Asian because when I see stuff like about Asian Americans coming up, like it hits close to home because of just how many like friends I have and like knowing their experience. I was like, like I get it. Like it speaks to me. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but yeah, I've just always been into them. I just think honestly think
it's very rare.
It's very rare. Like you don't. I never hear any girls that are like, I like Asian guys. You know, it's good though. It's dope.
I
think like I'm hearing it a little more these days.
Yeah, I'm hearing it more. I don't know. I've actually been hearing that a lot more lately. I have a friend. He goes to school in Dallas. He was telling me, he was like, bro, I literally get a lot of like he's like certain girls he gets because he's Asian. It's crazy.
See, that's fetishizing. Fetish. How the fuck do you say that word?
Fantasizing, right?
No, fetishizing.
Fetish. Oh, fetish.
Fetishizing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fetish. Oh,
like just because you like, I just like some girl coming up to you. I want to sleep with you just because you're black.
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, that's desperation right there, man.
Pretty easy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but that's. I guess like it's so like it's kind of cool because you know, as an Asian male, like I never really get to hear that, and I don't know, like growing up as an Asian male too, like through most of my life, dude, it really sucked when like it feels like no one wants you, like wants you in that
Mm-hmm.
way,
That is
right?
true. Yeah. I
Even
mean,
Asian girls all the time, like, dude, I only date white guys. I don't date Asian guys.
dude, Asian girls,
How many
Yeah, that's the
times do you hear
thing.
that?
Asian girls love white guys. Yeah.
They do, and it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
so, like, and this is where like I see the toxic like relationship with themselves, and they start lashing out. They're like, dude, fuck these white guys. They're like, they're stealing our women. That's what people actually really say that stuff, you know, and they
Mm-hmm.
begin to start developing like, I don't know, like kind of like really toxic mentalities, I would put it, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Dang, that's crazy.
I actually have another call at
Sure.
like at 8 o'clock, and I have to pee, so I think I'm gonna have to peace
Can you
out very soon.
can you vlog it for us right now too?
Yeah, we gotta get a lot. Hey,
We
why
need
don't,
the views.
do you do YouTube? Do you do YouTube or no? You,
No.
do you do YouTube or no?
Nasty. Oh my god, I need to stretch. Hold on.
Oh damn.
Okay.
So true.
I have to pop my back.
Let's see.
Like, I
This is
pop-
my chance. I meant to say channel. This is my channel. If you, yeah, you see that RKT? Everybody in the chat, RKT, that's me. So y'all go subscribe to me. Let's hit 300 subscribers, even though vanity metrics don't matter.
Wow. Dude, this whole time we talking about like, yo, it doesn't matter about the vanity metrics, and you're like,
Y'all go hit me with the subscribe button.
I mean, but hey, if
Hey, you
like
said
you're
like
feeling
it. You
his
said, hey, really
message,
like
go
this.
follow
I
him.
really like this. It's funny.
Asian guys best, says Troy Park. Hell yeah. Palava.
My boy
Oh,
Tyrone,
yeah.
Tyrone Daquan.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so I guess we can end
We can
end
wrap it
this
up,
right
yeah.
now. Guys, if you really like this type of content, just let me know. Just start hitting that like button, comment, tell me what exactly you liked. If you want us to talk about more of these topics, I'll leave links for both Brittany and Rohan at the end of this. Yeah. So what do you wanna promote, Brittany?
My IG. That's the thing I'm like most on, even though I'm hard. No, I'm not hardly on it. I'm on it, but I'm working on everything. So if you follow my IG, you'll be up to date with everything else that I'm developing. It's Brittany Nicole. That's BRIT, the letter KNEE, like a knee. Nicole, NICOLE 14. Yeah.
That's
it.
funny how I
I
know
was about to give.
I know her Instagram
Huh?
name. Like I already knew it in my head. That's weird.
Oh yeah, it's
That's
like
because we
I love
follow
Asian
each
guys
other.
6ix9ine, right?
Yeah.
I love ASEAN.
I love Asian men 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine.
All right, so for me, it's Rohan K Taylor on all social platforms except for YouTube. It's RKT, but ROHAN KTAYLOR. So yeah, and if you guys want to reach out to me, just reach out and we can talk or something if you have any questions.
Before we head out, like, dude, how do you guys like it knowing that I have non-Asian guests? Because I think this is like one of the first times where like,
I know he has hella Asian people.
dude, it's always Asian people. People always shit on me.
I've been
They're
here for
like,
3 months and he hasn't invited me. He's like I have to have all these Asians. I'm just kidding. Blacks
no,
at the
but
back.
I think it's pretty cool just to have like different people in my life, and it's just a really cool opportunity. So all you guys that
Am
are
I
saying,
your token Mexican girl?
no, I have other Mexican girls.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, you want me to fetishize you? Okay, yeah, you're my only Mexican girl.
Fetishize.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Thank you, Rohan, and we'll see you
man.
guys
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right,
Bye.
everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, now I have to do that awkward walk of shame.
All right, you guys. So that's about it. Much love.
Last words? Any last words?
RKT for life.